Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Hakodash. Yahawah being the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God, and YAHAWASHI being the name of the Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You know, Yahawah being their true name, right? In the ancient Paleo Hebrew, their true their true name in the pure language. In the Lashawan Kodash, Lashawan Kodash, right? Double honors to the apostles and the elders and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, and for teaching me this 100% truth according to the scriptures through the power and spirit of Yahawah, Bahashem YAHAWASHI. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, those hoping to be a part of the elect, those hoping to be redeemed, right? Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the brothers and the very few sisters who are walking in truth and in spirit, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability, but most importantly of all, having faith in the name of Yahawah Bahashem YAHAWASHI and enduring upon his return. So I want to make a short lesson, right? Lord willing. It's short and edifying, straight to the point. I was having a discussion earlier, right, with someone, and we were talking about basically what the world will call it, mental illness. You know, but we know scripturally through the scriptures, we know biblically that mental illness, right, is madness. It's basically what you will call bipolar disorders, schizophrenic, sicknesses like epilepsy, seizures, right? Because that's how the conversation came about. We were talking about someone she knew, basically, I think he had overdosed, but he didn't die. But after that overdose came seizures. He never had it before, so So that's how the conversation came about. So she was asking me, what do you think that is? Like, something wrong with the brain that it cut a signal off? Well, no, man, that's just demons. That's what it is. And demons jumped on him, through the form of what, man? Through the form of drugs, man. Witchcraft, which, I have made a lesson. I did a lesson on that before. Drugs is witchcraft, and that's what happened. Demon jumped on him, through drugs. Demons and that's not the only way demons can jump on you, through drugs. They could jump on you through things you're watching or listening to, right? Anyway, so yeah. So she was asking, what you think that is? And, the first scripture that came to mind was Matthew 17, because this is a case of that right here. And this is how we know, man, through the scriptures, through the Bible. The Bible tells us what is what, how we should walk, right? It tells us what it really is, right? Because the world will call it something else. The world will say, oh, it's a disease and this, a sickness. But in reality, it's a sickness in the spirit, man. Because we know that the spirit is in the mind. We know that the heart is the mind, So we know that diseases and sicknesses comes from demons, right? So anyways, and to the world it might sound crazy. Like, what are you talking about, right? But like I said, man, like the scriptures say, man, because they are of the world, they believe us not, right? Because if we was of the world, they would love us, right? They would believe us and everything if we would say worldly things. But anyways, I don't want to, keep blabbering, and ranting off. So let me just get straight to the lesson. So anyways, right here, I'm going to start at verse 14. Matthew chapter 17, verse 14. It says, I'm going to read the NLT. It says right here on the right. It says, at the foot of the mountain, a large crowd was waiting for them. A man came and knelt before YAHAWASHI and said, Lord, have mercy on my son. He has seizures, right? and suffers terribly. Which if you look at the KJV, it will be considered the word lunatic, for he is lunatic, right? And sore vexed, but, right? Because it's derives from luna, from the moon.
Strong's G 4583, Seleniadzamai. Seleniadzamai. Strong's G 4583, Seleniadzamai.
Seleniadzamai. In the Greek word, right? So, if you see it will say to be moonstruck or lunatic, to be epileptic. Epileptic. Now we know what epileptic is. It's epilepsy. Look it up. Epilepsy, human neurological disease causing seizures, right? Epilepsy is a group of non-communicable neurological disorders characterized by recurrent epileptic seizures. An epileptic seizure is the clinical manifestation of an abnormal, excessive, and synchronized electrical discharge in the brain cells called neurons. The occurrence of two or more unprovoked seizures defines epilepsy. Anyways, right? But anyways, I'm gonna read to the point. I'm gonna get to the point. Watch. We know that these things come from demons, right? That's a demon that our people are basically possessed with right now. Because you say that and people be like, oh, but I ain't going around fucking throwing up green stuff or climbing walls and shit, right? Because they think they've been taught what it looks like through movies, which in reality, no, right? Which in reality, epilepsy will be one form of a demon. Anyways, verse 15, right? It says, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed, and oftentimes he falleth into the fire and oft into the water, right? That's what a person with epilepsy will do. It's catching seizures. They just fall, right? They'll be driving and they'll just go into this state of like shock, right? Trembling, like, you know, like their tongue will go bad. Basically, they're like shaking, right? They don't remember of what happened. They don't remember moments before neither. Because I remember I used to see somebody that used to catch it, man, and it was crazy. You know, they'll just like go into like this mode, man, and they don't remember a few minutes from before it happens. So obviously it's something taking over. It's just like, for example, alcohol. Is it a sin to drink? No. But you got to be careful with consuming a lot of alcohol, right? You're not going to go and drink a goddamn fifth or some Henny or whatever, right? To the face, be drunk as hell, don't remember what you're doing, just moving around, getting in your car. There's people that have been drunk and can't remember how they got home, but yet they still got home, right? That should show you that something was moving you. That's why if you look at stores, liquor stores, man, a lot of these liquor stores are called wine and spirits because alcohol does bring spirits, man, if you consume a lot of it. This is why you got to drink responsibly. It's all right to have a drink or two, man, and that's it. And feel a little buzz, and that's it, man. You know, you don't need to overindulge in alcohol to the point where you're not going to remember what the fuck you did, you know? And a lot of the times, you know, when you consume too much and you get in that state of drunkenness where you don't remember the night before, you do a lot of embarrassing shit, man. You know, that's because spirits jumped on you and made you do these things, made you act as a fool. Or sometimes people commit murder, man. Or sometimes they'll die behind the wheel. You know, at the end of the day, demons jumped on that ass, you know. Anyways, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic, right? And sore and vexed, for oftentimes he falleth into the fire and often into the water. Verse 16, and I brought him to thy disciples. This is the man talking to YAHAWASHI, telling YAHAWASHI what's wrong with his son. And he's telling them, and I brought my son to your disciples, and they could not cure him. Verse 17, here's the point. Then Yahawashi answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. Right? Saying, bring the boy here. And Yahawashi rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him. Who did Yahawashi rebuke this devil from? From the boy. Why? Because he had a demon in him. Departed out of him. You see, and then the demon departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour. If you read the NLT version, then Yahawashi rebuked the demon in the boy, and it left him. From that moment, the boy was well. You see? So it's a demon, man. These things what people describe as schizophrenic, depression, bipolar disorder. Now there's some shit called triple disorder, some shit, bro. And we know that people with bipolar disorders act like different people, right? There's I forgot I think it's schizophrenic, right? Where they have I think there's one called multiple personalities, right? Like multiple personalities. What defines a person? The spirit, right? So now you're saying you have multiple spirits in you, man. That's what multiple personality, right? It means a multiple, a lot. You know, it reminds me of that saying. Let me look it up real quick. But you see, I'm gonna look that precept up real fast. But you know, hopefully you get the point of what I'm bringing out, right? I'm going to start at verse 15 again. I'm going to read the NLT. Lord, have mercy on my son. He has seizures and suffers terribly. He often falls into the fire or into the water. You see? And then verse 18, it says, Then Yahawashi rebuked the demon in the boy, and it left. You see? So, yeah, man, people can get possessed with demons, man. They come in all forms. A lion demon, a junkie demon, an alcoholic demon, a whore, you know, it's all sorts of demons come, right? A murdering demon, whatever, man. All spirits, there's all forms of evil spirits, man. But the point is that Yahawashi rebuked the demon in the boy, and it left him. From that moment, the boy was well. He was cured from the moment that demon left him. You see? But we get taught through this world, through Esau, the so-called white man, that it's not demons, that it's you, right? It's basically something wrong with your brain, which, you know, we know what it is, man. You know, this is why it's important for our people, Israel, the so-called black, Spanish, and Native American man and women to repent. This is why this is important, man, because so these things won't fall upon you. You know, that's the only thing that can cure you from any type of mental illness, man. It's Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi. That's the only thing that can truly cure you. The washing of the word, man. That's what cleanses you. That's what purifies you. That's what purifies your mind, man. So that's what circumcises your heart, which we know that the heart is the mind, like the scriptures explain. Right? We know that the spirit, it's in the mind. Our spirit is within the mind, in our head. Right? It's in the brain. So, you know, real quick now, Matthew chapter 17, verse 15. Shalaki, I just read that one. It's Deuteronomy. See, these are the curses. This is one of the curses, man. Let me go get this real quick. Deuteronomy 28:28. This is one of the curses. Right? Because we're unfaithful unto our power, unto our God. So if you're unfaithful to our God, this is why we've been cursed, man, as a people. You know, but right now we are in the times where the Lord, Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi, is waking up a remnant of his people, and he is curing them in the spirit. right? Through his only begotten son, YAHAWASHI, the same way that he sent the same way he sent his only begotten son back then, 2,000 years ago, in the flesh, right? He is here today, right now, in the spirit, man. And he is going to come back again in the flesh pretty soon, man. But it ain't for mercy, you know. It's for vengeance onto to the enemies. He's only going to redeem those that walked in his ways, man. But anyways, real quick, right? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Right? If you go into that word madness, let's go into that word madness. This is the Lord shall smite thee, right? With madness. Smite means strike you. Strike, right? If we fail to obey his ways, the Lord will strike his people with madness, man. This is one of the curses, you know. Madness. If you read down here, it says craziness, right? But let's look up madness. Look up madness. You'll get a whole look. Insanity. Insaneness. Dementia. Dementia is a real thing. Mental illness. Instability. Unsoundness of mind. Depression. Psychopathic. Schizophrenia. Yo, it's a whole list, man. Stupidity. You see it create. It's just a whole list, man, of what madness means, right? So this is why a lot of our people out there bugged out, man. Right? Bugged out. Some are more bugged out than others, man. But they're still bugged out. The Lord shall smite thee. I'm going to read this again, man. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And that's one of the curses our people are under, man. Madness, insanity, instability. Our people are unstable, man. Our people are foolish. A lot of our people are what the world will call schizophrenias and them have bipolar disorder or whatever it is, depression. 1 minute they're good, the next they're off. You know, and a lot of these things come by drugs too, man. Drugs, man. Which we know according to the scriptures that drugs is a form of witchcraft, man. Drugs is basically putting demons on you, man. Putting spells on you. You know, and that's just one of the ways. Another way is, like I said earlier, through music, through movies, propaganda, whatever. Through books, weird books, if you're reading weird books out there. So yeah, man. Let me see if I could find this one. Salakia. Right here. Mark chapter 5. Let's start at 1. Mark chapter 5. Let me see. Oh, here he is. Now look, this is the book of Mark chapter 1. And Lord willing, I'll finish it off with this. You know, bring it on home, right? You know, this is the thing, man. What we say is not lies or stupidity. It's coming straight from the Bible, straight from truth, man. When we're telling you what it is what it is. You know, it ain't. It's basically the Lord, man, judging, putting judgment on our people, right? And that's not to say that no other nations don't have that. Yes, there are other nations strike with madness and insanity and whatever. I know that. But our people, the Israelites, the true Israelites of the Bible, man, the so-called Black, Spanish, and Native American men and women, we have a way out of that, man. And that way out of that is by being obedient to the Lord, man. He is the only one that's going to protect us from these enchantments, you know, because those enchantments and spirits are real. He is the only one that can protect you. No other God underneath the earth, underneath the sun, can protect you from the evil spirits, man, that are out there. Not no Yahweh, not no Jesus Christ, not no Buddha, not no Allah, none of that. That's not our gods. Those are false gods anyways, but those are the other nations' gods. Our God, our power is in the name Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashai. So anyways, it says Mark chapter 5, verse 1. I'm going to read that verse 1. The NLT right here on the right. Right? It says, so they arrived at the other side of the lake in the region of the Gerasenes. When Yahawashi climbed out of the boat, a man possessed by an evil spirit. You see that? An evil spirit came out from a cemetery to meet him. This man lived among the burial caves and could no longer be restrained, even with a chain. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, this sounds like what? Does this sound like, what do you think they do to people in mental asylums, man? They shackle them. They put drugs on them to like kind of like dumb them down, and then they put them in those vests, right, which wraps around to their back to keep them from opening, you know, from opening their arms or grabbing anybody, from hurting anybody or hurting themselves, right? Some of them, they'll put like face guards on them so they won't bite, right? People will say, wow, man, that man is mentally ill. No, man, that man has demons. Demons are very real, man. It's just like earlier this week, I saw a video where they had this so-called black guy in back of a police car. And I think he was trying to steal something from Walmart or whatever. The cops got him. They got him locked. They got him cuffed up in the back. And this dude is just bugging out in the back. He's talking about, I'm the mighty one. But we know, see, people will see him and be like, oh, this man's bugged out. Nah, man, that man has demons on him, man. The things that he are saying, those are demons speaking. Because he was saying, oh, I'm the mighty one. And he was like, who am I talking to? He's like, you're talking to the mighty one. And then he started like, boy, he looked like he was possessed, man. You know, and people would be like, nah, he's on some drugs or something. You're missing the point. You know, you're missing the point. But anyways, I'm gonna keep going, right? Verse 3. This man lived among the burial caves and could no longer be restrained, even with a chain. Whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrists and smashed the shackles. You see that? No one was strong enough to subdue him. You know, and you ever heard of things like, I don't know what happened to me, not to me personally. I've known someone, right? A story. My mother's friend, her son. He was, you know, what the world will call, he was mentally ill. He was a kid at the time. I think he was like 15, 16. Well, you know, that's not a kid, but, you know, to society is a kid. But he was like 15, 16, man. He was a big guy, big dude, right? And I remember he had what the people will call it, a mental breakdown. Man, listen, it was like 6 polices, bro. 6, it was a lot. A group, it was a grown men, right? 6 police. Some roughly around, I'm not sure, 5 or 6, whatever. More than him. And they couldn't hold down they couldn't hold him down, man. They could not, they had to, bro, they couldn't hold him down. It was crazy. That strength, man. It's supposed to show you that it's not normal. But anyways, whenever he was put into chains and shackles, as he often was, he snapped the chains from his wrists and smashed the shackles. No one was strong enough to subdue him. Day and night he wandered among the burial caves and in the hills, howling, you see, howling, crying, screaming, and cutting himself with sharp stones. You see, if you would see this today, walking down the street, let's say you was walking in downtown and you was to see somebody screaming, not, whatever it is, crying and screaming, cutting himself, right? You're gonna look at him like, yo, what the fuck? You're gonna be like, man, something is wrong with this guy. He needs help. Yeah, he do need help. But that help you're not gonna find in no asylum. That help you're not gonna find with giving him more medicine. Medicine, I made a lesson on it, right? What medicine is pharmaceutical, man. You're not gonna help. You're putting more spirits on that man through the pharmaceutical. Because we know that witchcraft, is pharmakia. That's where you get the term pharmacy, pharmacia, pharmakia. It's bringing more spirits onto him. The only help, and then this is only if you're an Israelite, man. Only if you're an Israelite. The only help that our people can receive from situations like this is YAHAWAH by YAHAWASHI. But anyways, verse 5, day and night he wandered among the burial caves and in the hills, howling and cutting himself with sharp stones. So like I was saying, if you was to see someone doing this today, you would think, man, this man is crazy. Well, he's striked with madness, insanity, right? Which ultimately is demons, man. Because we're gonna read verse 6. When YAHAWASHI was still some distance away, the man saw him, ran to meet him, and bowed low before him. See? Bow low. Even the demons bow down to Yahawah by YAHAWASHI, man. Even the demons worship him because they know who he is, man. And that goes to show, man, that the demons don't rebel against the Heavenly Father. They never rebelled. The Satan, who you call Satan, he never rebelled. He always did what he was told. He knew who his power is. He knew who he had to take orders from. Clearly shows you right here what this demon did, man. He bowed low before him because he knew who he was. Verse 7, with a shriek, he screamed, why are you interfering with me, YAHAWASHI, son of the Most High Yahawah? See? In the name of Yahawah, I beg you, don't torture me. For YAHAWASHI had already said to the spirit, come out of the man, you evil spirit. Then YAHAWASHI demanded, what is your name? Man. Let me see. Right here. Then verse 9. Then YAHAWASHI demanded, what is your name? He's asking, what is your name, right? He's asking the spirit. Because he's talking to the spirit, to that demon, to that evil spirit. Mind you, there is no man in there. And he replied, my name is Legion, because there are many of us inside this man. Many of us what? Many spirits inside that man. You see? So when somebody says, oh man, that dude is schizophrenic, or he has bipolar disorder, whatever, whatever it is, man, those are spirits, man. Multiple personalities, those are spirits. They just gave it a new name, their own name, to basically keep you from knowing what it truly is. I'm going to read this again, verse 9. Then YAHAWASHI demanded, what is your name? And he replied, my name is Legion, because there are many of us inside this man. Then the evil spirits begged him again and again not to send them to some distant place. There happened to be a large herd of pigs feeding on the hillside nearby. Send us into those pigs, the spirits begged. Let us enter them. So YAHAWASHI gave them permission. The evil spirits came out of the man and entered the pigs, and the entire herd of about 2,000 pigs plunged down a steep hillside into the lake and drowned in the water. And drowned into the water. And this is a common thing. Yahawashi always sent unclean spirits into the pigs, man. Why? Because those are unclean animals. Why didn't he send it to the cows? Right? Or to the lamb? No, because those are clean animals that you eat. This is another thing too, man. We don't know where our food comes from, man. And I mean, you know, you don't know where your food is at. Our food coming. This is why it's important to pray over your food under the name of Yahawah Ba'ashim YAHAWASHI, man. Because a lot of these foods come from one source, man. They come from these multi-billionaire companies, man, of the elite, right? Where they slaughter all these animals. Who knows what prayers, satanic prayers are putting over this food, and what spirits are, you know, what enchantments are putting over under these foods, man. And here our people are eating this shit up, right? That's why it's important to pray over your food, man. Verse 14, the herdsmen fled to the nearby town, but you get the point, man. There was many spirits in this man. Many spirits. And Yahawashi drove those evil spirits, which is what? Demons. Evil spirits are what? Demons. Right? It doesn't say good spirits. It says evil spirits, which is demonics. Is demons. You know, and the spirits are real, man. Spirits are real. You know. But Lord willing, man, you got the point. Lord willing, you got the point, and hopefully this is short and edifying to the flock.